Okay, so this week's video, well, it's only the start of the week, but there'll be another one at the end of the week. Bit of a treat for you. I'll start off with the rear. So basically you can see where I've started cutting it out to the design of what I would put on the Facebook page last week, where it's basically having the Focus RS rear diffuser. It's got to be moved along a little bit because it's not in the right place. But basically it's got a nice open gap now where there's going to be like some slats and things in there. It's going to look quite cool, a bit supercarish basically. I've still got to do the light shape because that needs welding and stuff in there. I haven't got that sorted yet. I might do that this weekend actually. I'll see how it gets on. You can see how it's coming along quite nicely there, pretty good. But the main work has been on the side, which is, try and zoom out a bit. Here we go. Right, you'll notice there's two wheels on there now. Bit of a pain these, I'll run through that in a minute. Basically the rear quarter's been cut out a bit further. The rear wheel's been put on properly. It's now got well, I made a bit of an error in that the rear wheel should have had a 30mm PCD on it, a PCD adapter, but I ordered a 20 instead, so it wasn't quite sitting right, so I've had to put a little 10mm spacer on there just to get the fitment right. Obviously this is just a mould, obviously it's not the original. It's not what's actually going to be there. It's just a mould. So obviously over the top that'll be quite nice, and it'll cover the tyre a bit more than that, so it'll come down a bit further. Should look quite nice there. The effect looks quite nice already, but it just needs obviously finishing off around the circle and stuff like that around there, which I'll do once the mould's done and once everything's sat properly. The front wing, I can't remember if I put the sill on there on the last one, but basically I've done the sill. That's all been fiberglassed and blended in. That's got more to do on that basically yet, and it's going to sit lower than that because I don't know how low the car's going to sit yet, so I can't do it too low just yet. Front wing, the shape's coming on quite nicely, roughly to what the picture and the render look like. It's still got built up on the outside, so it doesn't have that gap for the wheel. You can see obviously this sort of sticks out too far there. Obviously it's got a bit built up around there, around the whole thing, made into a nice curved shape to basically match the rear. That's the idea. Basically a little bit of, well, a major issue I had, this is the problem, this might have took a bit longer than expected, but there you go. Biggest problem I had is obviously the rear, as I say, had needed a 30mm PCD, 30mm adapter with only 20. You can see from this angle anyway as well, quite a nice angle that, once the arch isn't sticking out at the bottom there. But basically the PCD adapters arrived from Superformer, who are a good company who make these things. They've made some for me before. This is the PCD adapter, not realizing that because these wheels are like designed for a massive truck, they're going to be big, so they're basically really big. So it's 5x150 PCD, PCD. So obviously this is like massive. Normally PCD adapters like this size. I should have put one of the other ones next to it so you could see, but that's basically massive. So what I found was when I put it in here, it's cleared the caliper. I don't know if we'll be able to get in there. Let's see. There you go, just about see it. So it just about clears the caliper there. I'm going to have to trim the caliper back very, very slightly. But basically it literally just clears the caliper. It does clear it, but I want a little bit more tolerance than that. It's like 1mm or something silly. Problem was, when I put it directly flush to the hub, it wouldn't clear the brake pad, and I couldn't do anything about that. So basically what I've had to do is put a 10mm spacer, the same as the rear, on a 5x114.3 spacer. So I spaced it 10mm, that clears the brake pad, then the adapter on the end. Normally you have the adapter first, then a spacer if you're going to do that, but I really can't do that because of the clearance. A bit weird, but what I'm going to do is, because I've literally got, how many have got in there? 3 bolts in there? I can't remember, about 3 bolts in there anyway. Basically holding that adapter on, and another couple of bolts or 3 bolts holding the wheel on. They're literally held on at the moment by about 2 or 3 threads, because there's literally no, what's it called? No, what do you call it? I forgot the name. No stud basically for it. So there's not enough length on it, because what I had to do when I put the Jag wheels on is trim the inside original studs. I had to trim those. I think I took about 10mm off them in the end to actually get them past the PCD adapter before. So when I've done that, obviously I've taken all the thread off that I could have used, and now basically I'm left with not enough. So I'm gonna have to do, once it's all done and dusted and all the bodywork's done, everything else, I'll be taking the hubs off and putting some brand new studs in there, which, to be fair, on a nearly 30-year-old car, it's probably a good idea to do that anyway, but they're going to be longer, so they'll fit. Well, they probably won't be longer, they'll probably just be standard size, but at least they'll fit and everything will be nice and it won't fall off and everything else. But you can see there's plenty of clearance. There's going to be, because it's only a 10J wheel, I don't know if you can see under here, it's a bit dark, but there's plenty of clearance in there. It's going to steer fine. There's literally no signs of anything going to be in the way. I can't see there being any issues there. It's going to clear fine. The only thing I might have to do is, because the front end sits about a coil lower than the rear, but it's on coilovers anyway. So what I'm going to do, if they're not seized, I'm going to raise it slightly, and if I can't raise it, I'll put new springs on. But basically, that's going to have to go up a little bit just to clear the top, because it's going to hit the top of the inner arch piece, because I've literally cut it down to the minimum it would possibly get to, and it's still not enough, because as soon as I hit a bump or something, it's going to just whack it, so that's no good. So I'll be chopping that, sorry, not chopping that, I'll be putting a new spring on that and then making sure that's all fine. Obviously this arch and everything else now you get the idea where it's going to go into the bonnet. This is all going to be one piece. This whole thing will be one piece, basically, all down here, all down here. All this piece will be one section. Yeah, I'll take the original wing off and just put that as a new piece, pretty much, and bolt that on, which I think is going to look really good. I've still got to do the design around here, this piece here, and obviously from the front, you can see roughly where it's going to be going to. Obviously you can't, because you can imagine it's going to come here, it's going to come literally to here, and then it's going to come around here, and then I'm going to have it sort of coming down there and then in here somewhere, and then sort of splitter on the front. It should look pretty cool. So yeah, there you go. Obviously the lights as well, I'm going to change a bit. But yeah, there you go. So basically it's going to be quite an interesting few weeks now. I've done quite a lot, to be fair. Feel free to comment. Hopefully all being well, a few of you now are actually starting to see the final products and think, actually, it's all right. Some of you probably still won't anyway, but there you go. It's one of them. So there you go. Feel free to comment, subscribe if you want to keep a bit of a track of this thing, and I'll do another video at the end of the week.